YouTube, what's going on? Appreciate y'all watching my videos. What's going on? Trying to get the sun from beaming, messing up the glare in my video. What's going on? Try to put something. Okay. Trying to put something right here to. Yeah, that's a little better. It's a little bit better. What's going on? Okay, I'm live. Code T, what's going on? But yeah, what's going on with the stock market? You know, I was on my account, and I was looking at. I'm thinking about buying some Boeing, because Boeing is down right now, and I'm on the fence on whether I should buy some Boeing. You know, it's a lot of things going on with Boeing. I don't want to get into the politics or anything like that, but because I'm sitting up here, you know, I'm on my lunch break, and I was thinking about buying some Boeing. I've been on the fence, so I looked at their financials, and looking at the stock market, I don't know what's going on with the stock market. Have y'all seen anything out in the economy that could make the stock market do like a little dip? Because stock market almost hit 40,000. Well, the Dow Jones Industrial almost hit 40,000, which is mind-boggling. Like, I'm like, wow, the stock market is actually gonna hit 40,000. Wow. Okay. But I said the same thing when it hit 30. I said the same thing when the market hit 20. So I remember the stock market was 5,000 back in 09 to 2010. But when COVID hit, the stock market went back down to about, I think, 16, 17 when COVID hit, and stock market was like 30, 32, 33,000. And then when COVID hit, the stock market went all the way down to like 16, 17,000. So, that's what it does. But I'm kind of curious if any of y'all heard anything that's going on in the economy. But that's what it does. It goes up and down. And as it's going down and then it comes back up, you want it to trend on an upward. So the stock market tends to trend like in an upward direction, up and over to the right. So that's what it does. If you go all the way back 50 years and watch the history of the stock market, you would notice that it pretty much trends like this, like that. So that's what it does. And so I was just kind of curious. But yeah, I'm on the fence about Boeing. So I was looking at Boeing, right? I'm looking at their financials. I'm looking at their quarterly reports. I'm looking at their annual reports over the last 4 or 5 years. I don't count COVID. Anything during COVID, I don't count, because we know whatever happened to a company during COVID doesn't count. So I don't fault the company for its performance. If a company has poor performance during COVID, I don't count that. I don't hold that against the company. It's just common sense, because the performance of the company has nothing to do with what they did. It was COVID. So you have to look at 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. And I pieced some things together, and I'm like, technically, I wouldn't buy COVID. I wouldn't buy COVID. I wouldn't buy COVID. I wouldn't buy Boeing, technically. But I want to buy it because we're talking about Boeing. It's only two or three major aviation companies in the world. So if Boeing goes bankrupt, who are we gonna get our planes and all that technology, that type of business? Where are we gonna get that stuff from? So they're in a situation where Boeing is in a situation where they're too big to fail, in a way. So I'm kind of on the fence. I'm thinking about buying some Boeing. So right now it's 169 a share. So I'm thinking about pulling the trigger. I don't know, because I think it's a good buy. I mean, and the fact that it's 169 isn't like something you got to be able to buy it and not look at it. You know, this is a 10-year purchase. So if you buy it, right, you got to know you won't see the returns at least in 5 years, you know, so don't expect the return. So when a company like this drops, you got to be prepared to buy it and sit on it for a while. And so that's the whole point. That's my perspective. So if any of you guys are watching me and you're like, man, I should buy some Boeing, I can flip it. No, this is a long play here. This is a long-term play, at least 5 years, but I expect to hold Boeing for at least 10. So, because here's the deal. If you look at Boeing's financials, I looked at Boeing's financials. They have a ton of debt. And just applying basic financial sense, that's just not sustainable. And I don't care what kind of business you are, you can't sustain that kind of debt like that. Because basically, if you look at the financials, they are accruing more debt than cash that they're bringing in. They're accruing more debt than revenue. Well, they're accruing just as much debt as they are revenue. So I think I seen one quarter they did like 2 billion, and then they had 2 billion in debt. So it's kind of like y'all didn't make no money. It's just like, and so I can't imagine the payments on that. So the interest payments, the debt service, all that stuff costs money, and the operations costs. When you start going through the financials, it's just like, and I was looking at their cash flow statement. They have a negative earnings per share, and so they have a negative earning. I think they're going at negative $3 a share. Negative $3 a share. And so basically the company is running off equity, And so that's what's going on right now. So the company Boeing is running off equity right now. So yeah, Lockheed Martin. Hold on, somebody gave me a $10 super chat. $10 super chat. Hey man, I appreciate it, man. I'll get some. I'll get a. I'll take my wife. We can get a margarita with that. we can have a margarita. uh, um, we go to Mexican restaurants sometimes, and we have margaritas. So I take that $10 and get a margarita. But so that's kind of what I've been thinking. Lockheed Martin, yeah, but Lockheed Martin is one company. They're one company, and it's gonna put commercial airlines in a bind because Boeing's customers are 60% commercial. Okay, so that's gonna be your commercial carriers. That's your. It's a spider right here. That's 60% of their revenues, 60% of their business. I think it's like 65% of their business comes from commercial. I think I was looking at their financials, and they break it down by customer type. So 60% is commercial, another 20% comes from the government, and then another 20% comes from it's another division, but it's basically their parts and repair. So it's going to be the service side. So they sell the airplanes, right? And they have to maintenance them. They're mechanics, their parts, and all that stuff. The parts division. So after the back end, and after looking at their financials, to me it seems like the most profitable division is their service side. So that's like the maintenance on engines and the planes, the back end stuff, the repair stuff like that. And so they're more profitable with that because I guess the overhead is lower, I guess. But manufacturing is a tough business because manufacturing is very tough. Okay, so companies that supply the sheet metal and all the parts and all that stuff, the materials to make a plane, it's just tough, So but yeah, so I've been thinking about buying some Boeing. So it's kind of one of those things. And at the same time, I was looking at the stock market. I was like, wow, look at the stock market is down. And all over the internet, everybody's crying about it. So it's like, well, the economy is going to crash and all this stuff. The economy isn't going to crash. Stop it. Like, stop it. Okay. Little dude from across the street just purchased a 2022 Cascader. You bought it or you leased it? Snyder Truck Sales, my bad. Oh, okay. So you got a old Snyder truck. Okay. Hey, Mary Rochelle, how are you? That's funny. Taking free Cisco online courses for computer tech. I love it. I plan on taking an internship one side of the truck for experience. I'm going for a cheap desktop to practice while in the truck. Okay, man. Yeah, that's what you got to do. You have to go after it. Nobody isn't going to give it to you. Extreme measures. You got to make an executive decision and take extreme measures and go after what you want in life. Nobody isn't going to give it to you. And so you got to do what you got to do. It's not going to be easy. You can't sit up there and wait for the perfect time to do something. It's never going to be a perfect time to do something. You're going to be sitting 20, 30 years waiting on the perfect time to do something. It comes to a point where it's just like, you know what? In order to get this done, you have to go and do it right now in order to get it done. You have to make room in your schedule and get it done. Enough with these excuses. And so I don't want to turn this video into a preaching video, but that's what it is. Congratulations. Give you a like for that. The press on Boeing isn't good. The whistleblowers are bringing attention to really pertinent concerns, and it doesn't help. One of them committed suicide. Yeah. I don't really get into the politics of all that because, you know, it is what it is. And, you know, at the end of the day, you know, because I know some people, they sit around and watch the news and they worry about stuff like that. They are worrisome people. They worry about everything. They worry, you know, they worry. Like, you know, companies go out of business all the time. There's always a whistleblower. There's always something to worry about. And so I know some people, they're news warriors. They worry. And so I have to be very mindful about what I pay attention to. And so, you know, for a very long time, I have worked very hard to be able to channel my energy and channel my attention on things that I can control. There are things that I can channel. And so, you know, some people, they just gotta be worrying about everything. And so when I see like the company like Boeing having a hardship, I'm just thinking like, ooh, that mean they stock gonna be on sale. That's how I look at it. You know, and so there's a way to look at that and say, this is a multi-billion, billion, maybe in the trillions, $1 trillion company that, okay, I could probably buy some of their stock and get it on sale. And I thought I'd make a video about it because I know a lot of my followers, we talk about that stuff. And so times like this, you know, companies go out of business every day. You know, companies go out of business every day. The stock market ebbs and flows. And I think we're in an ebb. We're in an ebb right now. We're ebbing right now as far as Boeing is concerned. And I think Boeing could be a good buy. It could be a good buy. But then again, I'm like, I could take my money and go and invest in something else. And I'm trying to find something, because I got a lot of reasons not to buy Boeing stock. I shouldn't buy Boeing stock based on what I just said. As I analyze their financials, I shouldn't buy Boeing stock. It's just not a good idea. On some basic financial principles, you know, a lot of you guys follow me for a long time. Just on some basic financial principles, I shouldn't buy Boeing stock just on just basic, just basic financial sense. With all the debt that they have a ton of debt relative to the profit that they're making. And so, to be honest, I can take my money somewhere else, and I can spend time looking at other companies to invest my money into and make the same money, if not better, or I can invest my money and actually feel better about where I'm investing my money. You get what I'm saying? Instead of buying Boeing and then worrying about it. And it's just kind of one of those things. If I do buy some Boeing, I may not buy that much. If I do buy something. Because in my mind, I was like, man, I can take 5,000-10,000 and buy some Boeing. But then I was like, no, that's just not smart. Y'all know me. I don't roll like that. That's pretty much betting it all on black. So that's too much. And so then I was just like, okay, maybe I can dial it back. Maybe I should dial it back some. I buy some, but then buy enough to where I don't worry about it. You get what I'm saying? And so that's kind of the point I'm saying. And so, I don't know what you guys think, but because I was looking at Boeing and I was looking at all their debt and just looking at their financials across the board, their financials just don't look good. Outside of what's going on in the news and all that stuff is just propaganda. That's just news and the facts. I look at the facts. That's emotional stuff out there. Sometimes you can monetize emotional activity in the stock market. Sometimes you can do that. And that's why I went to their financials and I looked at the facts. And the facts told me I should not buy Boeing. I shouldn't. Nope, I shouldn't. They're not making no money. They're not profitable. They have a negative profit per share. Negative $3 a share. Okay? They're basically living off equity right now. And so what's equity? It's basically stockholders, investors like me and you keep buying their stock. And that's how the company is keeping afloat right now. So Boeing is going to have to get it together. They have a long road ahead of them. I'm sure they're going to address the issues. They have to address the issues that's coming out in the news. And I think there's more to come as more people come out and talk about all the issues that's going on in Boeing. I think their stock is going to go way down to about $100 a share, maybe $80 a share. And so I'll keep an eye on it. If it goes down to about $100 a share, I'll buy some. I'll definitely buy some. But the facts, it's just, I'm like, man, could I buy some Boeing? And the facts are telling me no, I shouldn't buy none. There are other places that I can put some money and feel good about it. So like I can look at other companies that's doing well, that's got a positive earnings per share. They have their free cash flow looks good. They have tons of free cash flow. I can buy some Apple and feel good about it. Apple has trillions of dollars in cash just sitting on their balance sheet. just buy some Apple. Who you kidding? Just buy some Apple, right? So it's just things like that. That's kind of what I'm thinking about, because I know I don't like that. Why would I buy a company that's got a bunch of debt? So it's kind of one of those things. I'm not saying they're gonna go out of business. It's just a matter of common sense. Just a matter of common sense. That's all. So but we'll see. I don't know. I just might. That's all the comments. But anyway, my lunch is over. I got to get back to work. I appreciate y'all watching my videos, man. I'll see y'all next time.